Hi guys, welcome back. So today I thought I would show off the what the new support for Orcust will add to the Orcust Mitsurugi deck. So obviously the new support isn't out yet, but we obviously do know what the support does, the Link 1 and the Link 4. So I will be using proxies in Link Spider and Time Thief Reader, but I'll explain all of the monsters' effects, when to use them, why to use them, and to show off in this video. But other than that, I think that the new support is really nice, especially for this deck. Really helps bolster the end boards, because you get to add nothing to get to the end boards. Because beforehand, I wasn't playing Great Purification purely because I knew the new stuff was coming out for Orcust. I knew that it added an Omni to get to the end board, so I did want to just save it. So this isn't a true 1 card combo, it is a 1.5 card combo, but you're playing Orcust anyway, so it's not awful to have to discard. So but this is just off of like a hand trap you're discarding, like an Ash Blossom for example, just to make sure that the combo goes through fine. And obviously as well, there's 3 other cards in your hand, so like realistically, I believe the math on the deck says that there is a 75% chance of bricking on whatever you may be using, may it be the Magatama, the Nightmare, the World Wand, the NT8000 Sirius, if you're playing that. And there is a good chance of bricking, so just being able to discard that 1 brick, it's quite nice. But anyways, I will get straight into it. So this is the other really nice thing about the new support. It makes Harp Horror a 1-card combo that also goes into both engines. So you can actually cut out Armageddon Knight. While he's a good card, it makes the deck have 10 normal summon starters, which doesn't feel as great as just having 7 normal summon starters, because with that, there's a likelihood you'll draw 1 of them at least, and then also 1 of your 10 extenders, so like your Habakiri, your Prayers, your Pre-Preparation of Rites, or your Foolish Burial. There's a high chance of drawing 1 of those, but whenever it's 10 normal summon starters, it can be a bit more tricky. So the new support will allow you to cut out Armageddon Knights for what is realistically going to be potentially like a hand trap, or if you are still feeling like you're struggling with breaking boards, you can maybe put in like a Wusu and like a 2 of hand trap. But yeah, it's quite nice that you just get to take out like what is now just a redundant starter and just make the deck that little extra bit thinner. So it's quite nice. But anyways, I'll get straight into it. So it starts with obviously normal summon Harpor, then link off Harpor for the Link 1, which will be, I will say, is Link Spider. It is actually Galatea, the Orcust Automaton, I believe, still. So it is a Link 1 Dark Machine with downwards left arrow, I believe. And on Link Summon, you can discard a card to add a World Legacy or Orchestrated Babel from deck to hand. So in my deck, I'm going to just add Orchestrated Babel because we're already playing extra bricks. We don't need to add a World Legacy card on top of that, such as like a World Legacy Crown. In a pure build, you can go for World Legacy Crown, and that will also make Symbol Skeleton a 1-card starter. But I feel that for this deck, because it's just a bit stronger, to not have to worry about like extra normal summon starters and extra bricks when you're already playing quite a bit, it's just better to just not run that. So you'll typically add just the Orchestrated Babel, and then obviously you want to activate that immediately. So for Orcust, that is the only search you'll do. So if you are worried about Drool, that is the only search, and it is basically the most important search. There are obviously special summons from deck, sent to Graves, so Ash can still be a bit of a problem, but when it comes to Droll, that is it. And that is also why I like this engine so much with Mitsurugi, because it just dies to Droll, but Orcust doesn't at all. Like, you really can just go do your thing just on the Droll fully, and it's fine. So next we'll go Banish Harpoor, and then to special summon Gearsu, and then activate Gearsu effect to mill Orcust Nightmare. Obviously, if you've already discarded Orcust Nightmare, you can maybe send the Orcust Symbol Skeleton or just some other different order, and it'll be completely fine as well. So now we'll go Gearsu, sorry, not Gearsu, Orcust Nightmare effect, targeting either one of the guys to send Whirlwind, and then Whirlwind targeting Harpoor to revive it. So this is quite similar to the old combo of Gearsu, where you're going just into your Link 1, getting out your Harpoor and your Gearsu, because they're both level 4s, and then using those two. But here, you're only in Link 1, you're not in Link 2. With these two guys out, so you do have a little less material, but that is completely fine, because now, and also that is from a Harpoor start, where beforehand a Harpoor start would have meant you either normal summon it going second and crash into your opponent, or you set it going first and just pray your opponent doesn't have game. So quite nice, just that Harpoor is the starter now. So from here, you will probably go into, I like to go here into just obviously King, which is completely fine, and then you can go King effect, and it's now importantly I would detach Gearsu here, because the Link 1's effect does have an effect in Grave to banish an Orcust monster from your Grave to revive itself, and having Gearsu to banish is nice, because the Link 4 can add back an Orcust card from banishment to hand, and then it can shuffle it in to to snatch steal an opponent's monster. I don't believe it targets either, so that can be quite nice. But anyway, so you will say King of the Fair Elements goes through, and that's the wrong card. Sorry. And you get to grab Habakiri. Then from here, you can honestly just go Link Spider plus King. Well, not Link Spider, Galatea plus King for Galatea. Activate Galatea's effect, shuffling in, say, your Whirlwind. No, not say your Whirlwind, definitely your Whirlwind, because you can get Nightmare back in the rotation. And if you're playing serious, that's a good thing. To set here, Orcust Crescendo. This card's really good. It is an Omni negate as long as you have an Orcust Link on the field. And it also banishes. So against most decks, that's really, really nice. Say your opponent is going like Ame no Murakumo effect to Raigeki your board, you can just go, okay, Crescendo. It's unrespondable because it's a counter trap, and you're just winning from there anyway, because they no longer have Ame no Murakumo. So that's quite nice, and it adds just that little bit of extra protection to your end board. So next, you can go Habakiri effect, reveal itself to special summon Saji, and then obviously tribute Saji. And then Saji effect to add prayers. And then you can go, well, in this combo, I would recommend going prayers over ritual, because if they would have drilled you, they'd have already drilled you by this point. So it is better just to go prayers over ritual. Like, nobody's going to save drill, pretty much. If they can drill you immediately, they'll drill you immediately. Unless for some reason they think it's better to maybe bait out like a Call by the Grave, they'll just wait. They'll just try and drill you immediately. So Keep that in mind, obviously. But most of the time, they'll have drilled you on the orchestrated babble and you're just playing Orcust, which is completely fine. If not, if they haven't drilled you, grab your prayers. And go prayers effect. So prayers will tribute Ame no Habakiri from hand to do both effects. So you will add your Murakumo or your Futsu. It depends on which one you like to have out first. I like having Futsu out last because if my opponent has Nibiru, it plays around it a bit better. So you go prayers for Futsu and revive Saji. Then you'll go Habakiri effect because it was tributed to add Mitsurugi Ritual. And then from here, you're just going to activate Mitsurugi Ritual to tribute from deck to special from hand. The two main guys, Aramasa and Kusanagi, to get out Murakumo. Obviously, extremely strong. And then if you're going second, I would always have Murakumo's Raigeki as the final chain link, part of the chain link, unless you know they have an Omni. Otherwise, I would go Aramasa 1, Kusanagi 2 to chain block and allow you to get that extra add. So Kusanagi would add back Ritual, and Aramasa can add you another Ame, which is also just really good discard fodder if you are playing the Obayaku line. From here, it's just as simple as going another Ritual to special this time from deck your Futsu. And then go Ame, revive itself, and add a prayers here so that you can have prayers during your opponent's turn. Next, I'll typically like to go Dingirsu here over Galatea, and then Dingirsu to attach Nightmare. Next, here you can go for the effect of the Link one now in your grave. So it will be to banish. Or is it? Yes. It can banish an Orcust monster to special summon itself from grave. So I typically like banishing Girsu because I can either grab it back or it's quite nice just to have banished, pretty much, just to recycle it. So we can banish that to special summon the Link one. And this is all allowed in the same turn, which is very nice. And then here we can go Link 1 plus Dingirsu for Beat Cop from the Underworld. Then, because Beat Cop was made using 2 dark monsters, we contribute Futsu to place a patrol counter, which I'll use my field center for. I like going Orchestrated Babble because it just protects it from any sort of destruction your opponent may have. Then you can go Futsu to revive itself and add. I like, obviously, the Magatama, but you can play Purification if you want. And then you can go Murakumo plus Saji for IP Masquerena. And then IP plus Big Cop for Obayaku. Next, you can go your Obayaku effect, discarding to banish itself, and then revive the IP Masquerena. So, from here, and then obviously you'll set your other two, your 2 Mitsurugi spells. So, from here, you have Orchestrated Babble Protected, Futsu, Obayaku, which will come back in your end phase. So that is discard and pop, an IP Masquerena, Magatama, that's purrs, Magatama pop, and tribute a reptile. Orcust Crescendo, which isn't online right now, but is very easy to get online by just simply special summoning Galatea from your graveyard. You also have you really just genuinely have so many points of interaction from Harp Pour. This isn't even the better combo, because if you go Girsu first, you also get to end on the link 4, and you don't have to IP into it, which is obviously just insane. But yeah, because you have the extra bodies, you will be able to go the for Enlil Gearsu, which is the link 4. But here you can go in just, I would say probably during your opponent's draw phase, I would probably just go, okay, I'll activate where is it? Orcust Harp. Banish itself to special summon Gearsu from deck. And then Gearsu to send Symbol Skeleton. So that's setting up your Gearsu send immediately. In draw phase as well. So not really any way your opponent can interact with it, other than like an Ash. Then you can go, I really like going the Link 1 effect to special summon itself by banishing Galatea, because otherwise Galatea is quite hard to get back into rotation. And doing that allows you to get it back into the rotation very easily, because it's a banished machine monster. So another Galatea can get it back in, Lungirsu can get it back in. It's really nice for what's it called? Reusing and recycling all of it. And then finally, during the main phase, you can go IP effect using Gearsu, and it has to specifically be an Orcust Link monster for the Enlil Gearsu, the Link 4, for which will be this guy. And then he allows you to, I don't know if he targets one of your banished, but I know he adds back a banished Orcust card. So if you banish your Orchestrated Crescendo or Orchestrated Babel gets banished, you can add it back anyway, which is obviously very nice. But you can add back a banished Orcust card, and then you can either shuffle it back in to snatch steal an opponent's monster, or you can just keep it in hand and just have it in hand, which is quite nice, because then it gives you a good discard off of a Byaku. And I don't believe you have to shuffle back specifically the Orcust monster. So say you've already tributed Futsu for like Magatama, say, and then you've gone brought back Futsu and grabbed, let's see here, Habakiri. Ooh. You've grabbed Habakiri. You can then go, okay, I'll go his effect, add back, let's say, maybe the Harp. And then go, and I'll put back Habakiri. I believe, I will have to double check this, but I believe you can just put back any card from your hand. It doesn't have to be what you added back from banishment. So that then allows you still to have a really good discard and follow-up to go off a buy, to discard either to pop, non-targeting, or banish itself to revive. Say maybe your Futsu got stopped, wasn't able to revive itself for some reason or another, maybe like a ghost spell. I'm not too sure on the ruling if you get to add and then even if you get ghost spelled, because I believe how it works is, because it says, let me see, you can add a Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand, then you can special summon this card. So I believe what happens is you get to add the Mitsurugi card anyway. So say this does get ghost spelled, you can just add it, and then you've got Harp Horror for follow-up, as well as just Futsu back on the field, or just obviously as well a pop one. So that's obviously very nice. Then you've also got your Snatch Steal, that is undestructible by card effects because it was made with IP Masquerena. And if it's sent to the grave, it can banish itself to non-targeting send, I believe, an opponent's monster. During the turn, obviously it was sent, but that's quite nice because with Orchestrated Babble, it becomes a quick effect as well. So obviously very good. You also still got your Orcust Nightmare effect. Engrave to banish itself. Let me find them. This deck does just really go through like every single card. So like you can use Symbol Skeleton to either bring back if you want bring back Dingirsu, and either attach if you want better protection. But you can also go Nightmare, targeting one of your guys who's like the weakest. Mill NT8000 Sirius. Go Sirius effect, and because you've already used an Orcust IP Masquerena, presumably to get into Time Thief Reader, or the Orcust Link one to get itself out, you can just go, okay, Sirius to pop. And then, from there, you also have Orcust Crescendo, which, as I said, is an Omnigate and Banish. And still Mitsurugi Prayers, which is obviously as well very good because it's just immense follow-up. And you still have your Futsu just reviving your Mitsurugi guys. You've got your Mitsurugi Snatch State, not Snatch State, Raigeki and Murakumo. You've also got your, you also have its Negate, so you can really grind against your opponent's hand advantage with the Orcust cards. And then whenever they're down to maybe one card that they really need to play, and that you know of, or no cards in hand, you can just go, okay, bring back Murakumo, Raigeki your board, and okay, activate this as like a last ditch hope, and go, okay, Murakumo, negate, which is obviously very nice. So yeah, and then even if for some reason your like Mitsurugi cards have been turned offline, that's okay, because Orcust Crescendo then allows you to do even more. Because if your Mitsurugi cards get turned offline for a turn, say, you can go Orcust Crescendo effect. It locks you into Dark Machines for the rest of the turn, but you can add just a Dark Machine from deck to hand by banishing it. And then because not Time Thief Reader, Enlil Girsu, which is the Orcust Link for, gets to add back an Orcust card, you can just add back Crescendo and reset it. So the new stuff is really good. And that wasn't even the strongest board, because Girsu makes a much stronger board. Armageddon Knight makes the same board, and that's why I am probably going to cut him out of the deck, because I don't want 10 normal summons. I'm very happy with 7 currently. In the 1 Aramasa, the 3 Harps, and the 3 Girsus. So I am probably going to cut out Armageddon Knight, but the deck is really good with the new stuff that's coming in Monster Mayhem, which I believe is maybe a week or 2 away. I'm not too sure. It might be longer because of some problems on Konami's end, but the deck is crazy. It's still got all of the strong Mitsurugi interruptions anyway, but now you're playing Mitsurugi that can play really well on the Drool. And obviously, you do have to still worry about cards like Malice Q Whitebinder. But other than that, there isn't really many hand traps that like hurt this deck, because all of the Orcusts banish themselves for cost. So your opponent can't Ghost Spell any of your Orcusts, because Ghost Spell only works on effects. You can't you can Ash Orcusts, but like you can Ash maybe like your Nightmare and your Heartpour, which is quite strong, but because people haven't really been playing Ash Blossom they have been still playing it in main, but they use it more as a defensive card to make sure that they don't get Full Lost or Peruliad or Meows, the other one, the cat one, to stop that from affecting them. So it's still really nice. Obviously though, Lancia does hurt it, and then that's why you've got the Mitsurugi half as well, because if Lancia stops you from playing with Orcust, you can just go, okay, cool, I'll go reveal Habakiri, special Habakiri, special summon Saji, Tribute Saji, and then suddenly they have to bet on either drawing both Drolan Lockbird, which is a free of, as well as Lancia, which is maybe like a free of after siding. And even they might not play Drolan main, they might also play it inside, so they have to side out 6 cards. 6 cards that they might not want to side out, and just be completely just at your mercy, pretty much. It's also quite nice because it does play into full loss because you're going into the extra deck a lot. But other than that, Perulia is like fine. You like give Perulia maybe like 1 or 2 draws from your normal and from the Mitsurugi ritual from hand. Niall's is also pretty fine because of, well, with Mitsurugi stuff, Niall's isn't great. But the Orcust stuff is fine under like Niall's, Meowls, whatever it's called, because realistically you're summoning Gearsu from deck, Harp from Banish, so that's 1 draw. The Link one from Grave, and that's about it. So that's 2 draws off Niall's, which obviously is a +1, is very good, it's pot agreed. But it plays onto all the Mulchamis really nicely, other than maybe full loss because you're going into the extra deck quite a bit. But as well as that, it's just so strong and sets up such an impressive end board that it's really, really crazy. Like, I did show, obviously, the Orcust and Mitsurugi end board, but Orcust on its own can set up the Link 4 plus IP Masquerena. So that's, like, crazy as well. Like, plus, like, your Babel and your Crescendo. So you've got a non-negate IP Masquerena and a Snatch Steal, plus Nightmare Engrave, which can get you into 8,000 Sears if you want to play it. And Harpour, Special Gearsu, send Symbol Skeleton, Revived in Gearsu, and you're just playing anyway. So the deck's looking crazy. It's looking really, really fun. I cannot wait. I just hope that Monster Mayhem gets released soon over in Europe, and we don't have to wait long for it, because I've heard rumors of some problems with Konami's like packaging of it, about rarity distribution and things like that. But hopefully that'll be all resolved soon, and I can bring this deck to nationals, because it's so crazy. I love it so much, and it's such a fun deck to play. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for all the support, as always, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.